on, babies.
Boys,
Hey, Rich.
the next
God. This fucking, I already hate this guy.
you really don't like the you know what he's trying to do here. He's everything that is a part of Ray's life is trying to get back to Pennsport Pub. He just tries to give himself the dark feel with some neon lights, and
Dude,
he's
it's just-
missing some
I need a bunch of cigarette Newports just blazing in the background.
Newports
No,
and
it's just
fireball
really-
shots.
It's
And
really
titties.
just put me into a mental block, man. I just almost couldn't make this show. You know, it just flared up my calf injury all of a sudden. It's been hurting me all day, and it's just been this mentally challenging dealing with Ray all the time. And I just, sometimes
Oh, I get it. It's a Ben Simmons.
You see what
take.
he's
I
doing here?
gotcha.
He's actually
That's
acting. He's actually participating in the show. He's bringing a production. Oh, it's because he's drinking. He's drinking undocumented liquor.
That's not good. That's not good for any of us tonight.
No, we got two shows to get to. What do you say we quickly get to the opening takes? Bill, you want to start us off? How's your calf?
it feels great. Enough to play basketball. Speaking of not playing basketball, Ben Simmons sat out game 4. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is the worst excuse I've ever heard that he was still a mentally challenged. What was it? Mentally tough from last year.
Did you say mentally
I almost
challenged?
said that. Well, yes, he is. He's
This is gonna be-
retarded.
this is gonna
He's
be a-
100%. He's 100%. No, but seriously, like now you're blaming. Oh, like you can't get over your playoff loss last year, and now you think mentally that's flaring up your back injury. No, this is what's flaring up your back injury. The fact that you're down 3-0. You were rumored and said you wanted to play game 3. Didn't happen. You were guaranteed to play game 4. And then what happened? The Celtics won on Saturday night. And all of a sudden, my back hurts. No, you're fucking full of shit. It's all a ploy and a play to get $19 million out of the Sixers. I thought he was going to play, but nope, this just proves that it's all a money grab. This guy using mental health and all this other bullshit from last year. Last year, I wanted him to play. I wanted him to get swept. He would have been the only player in NBA history to finish his last 2 playoff appearances ended in sweeps. Not appearances, games. That's never
The
happened.
last 2 games, end of a series.
An elimination.
Yeah, I think we've documented Ben Simmons a lot, and we will certainly do so more on this show. And Ray, I thought for sure when Bill said, "You know what flared up your back?" I mean, I would have bet my house on pussy on that he was going with pussy. No, he went with the Celtics.
He's more mature today. He's
No,
more
it's that
mature,
undocumented liquor. It gets his brain firing on different synopsises. Ray, why don't you kick it off with come up next here with your opening take.
Mine will be on the Patriots draft. We record this on Wednesday, so tomorrow's the draft. Patriots pick 21st, which we all know as Patriots fans will not happen. Bill Belichick will trade out and get an amount of picks in the 2nd and 3rd round because he likes the 30 to 60 players because they are great this year. So hopefully they can make a home run this year because if they don't, I don't think Kraft's going to be spending $250 million again next year for lack of draft compensation that we're going to get. So better hit a homer there, Billy boy.
Did you say he will get an amount of picks in rounds?
I was going to
2
say
and 3?
something else. Yeah, I was going to say something else. But
Way
then
to
I-
really
Say I'm
fucking
stupid.
really drill in on that, right? No, he will get an amount of
Bill,
picks.
we know I'm stupid.
I'll bring it back
That's
to
a fact.
basketball and the Celtics sweep of the Nets. The closest margin of victory in a sweep in the last 50 years for the Celtics
Was
in
it
the
16
NBA.
points, right?
18.
Total or so? 18.
Yeah,
sorry.
18 points total. And look, I watched a lot of national stuff. I texted you guys this the other day. I was at home and sick and stuff and, watching the Stephen A. Smiths of the world. A lot of attention put on the Nets and deservingly so. Kyrie Irving and KD underachieving. Not enough credit has been given to the Celtics team. We forget that this Celtics team was in the Eastern Conference Finals in the bubble and that we thought they underachieved then. They had such a shitty 2021 season that we think they're overachieving now. Nay. They're good. They're very good. They proved they're very good, and they've taken even a step further this year. It's NBA Finals are bust for me. This team should be making strides to the finals and pushing to win it this year. So bye-bye Kyrie, bye-bye KD. You got what? And look, whether they're a dumpster fire or not, a sweep is a sweep. They're the only team that got swept. The Celtics are the only team to sweep anybody, and the Nets were not a rollover. 18 points is 18 points. That was the differential in 4 games. Good for the Celtics.
Game 4, yeah. And game 4, they threw everything in the fourth quarter at them. Everything.
Yeah, you finally got KD.
And actually, the whole game, and I think I texted you guys every time they got to 1. Celtics went on a 9-0 run, got it back double digits, got down to 2, went on a run again. And even in the fourth quarter, they got down as little as 2, little as 1, I believe. And then boom, next thing you know, it's right back up to 6. It's like they found that extra will in that game, and it's good.
The Nets looked like
hard.
The Nets looked like who the Celtics were these previous years, and we were asking, could they get over that hump, right? It's like every time they would make a push in a big game, the other team would make a big bucket. Now the Celtics are the team doing that to other teams. So let's see if they can keep it up. Most likely you're going to see the Bucks on Sunday. We'll see what they do against the Bulls.
NBA tried to get it. NBA tried to get it back to Boston. Scott Foster, thank you very much.
We can talk about that. I'm a little mixed on that, but we can certainly touch on it. We'll be doing the Patriots draft stuff. We'll be doing a little Red Sox talk, a little Red Sox bashing, a little more of that on next Tuesday's edition if you want to tune in to some real Red Sox hate. We got Jack Simone of the CLNS Media coming on to talk some Celtics. Bruins pretty much locked in their first-round matchup, Carolina Hurricanes.
They look good. They look real good.
Yeah, the Panthers, they've locked everything up too. I don't know if they were playing in that game.
But
we'll
still
see.
Healthy.
It's, there's no layups in the East for hockey for the NHL. So we'll see.
No butthole tattoo for me either because the Bruins are out in the first round.
Ooh, prediction there. All right, we'll get to that. And of course, Simplest Minds of the Week. We got a couple candidates for that one. So welcome to the Simple Minds Sports Show Friday. We rewind April 29th. Nice. Welcome to the show.
Nice.
This close to 22nd, but too many. I knew it wasn't. If you're looking to lose some dates, head on down to White Birch Brewing, the best craft brewing in New Hampshire, Nashua, New Hampshire. Ray, address, please.
460 Amherst Street.
The good side of Amherst Street. Head on down to the brewery, get yourself a flight, get yourself a pint, get yourself the Dr. Vittles flight of pints, and drive responsibly. Call Uber Ray. Get home safe. If you can't get down to the brewery, then certainly get it at your local beer store. Wherever you get it, tell them the Simple Minds boys sent you. White Birch Brewing. All right, Ray, we're going to start Patriots here. This is recorded on Wednesday, released on Friday. So we have had the first round of the NFL draft. So instead, obviously predictions don't matter here. It already happened. So I'm going to give you
trading. Next subject. The Patriots traded out of the first round. Next, what are we talking? Red Sox now?
Let me give you some what ifs. If that were not to happen, let's start there then. Fine. If and when the Patriots trade out of this first round, 21st overall pick, Ray, I'll go to you first. This was your opening take. Number one, are you pissed? And number two, out of those quote unquote amount of second and third round picks, what do you want them to see? What do you want them to tackle? And I would assume that it's focused on some specific targets here. So are you pissed, and what do you want them to do?
I'll be pissed, but because if you can get 2 second round picks, that'd be nice. And you need linebacker help.
Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but good job finding the number for that. So we're going to put that on 2. Good.
2. Yeah. So if you can get 2 second round picks, I would like you to go after linebacker and cornerback, because I think that's the weakest part of your defense. And Bill, I know can't draft cornerbacks from our last talk we had. So please don't.
I'm glad you learned that. I'm glad. You know what? This is not just a fun exercise and a good time for friends to get together. Ray's learning things, Bill.
I'm learning.
Hey, Ray, can you name 5 impact players the Patriots have drafted in the second round in the last 20
years? Don't try to do that. He can't even come up with a number.
Yes, I can. Richard, please.
Ray,
please,
go back to your original thought here before.
No, please. I'll go to 5. Bill, here we go. Ready? Are you? Your mother's fat, ugly pussy. There you go. 5.
So, fun fact. I feel like Bill drafts the worst in the second round. So why the fuck are we going to let him stock second round picks? It's notoriously bad for him. He has missed more times. All right, Gronk, Light, Volmer, Barmore. I mean, name another one. Jarvis Green, maybe I think came in the second round, and that's about it for impact guys
Gronk
in the
was
second
first
round.
was he?
Who?
Wasn't Gronk a first round pick?
Gronk was the second round they traded up for, but for amount of guys they hit on the first round, double it for misses, right? I mean, in the second round, double it for misses. Don't trade out of this pick. I hope they don't.
All right, so let's go to the third round then. Let's just go dump it all in the third round for him then.
How many picks have they got in the third round, Ray? An amount?
A one.
Okay.
They traded the other one for Devontae, or was that last year? For next year?
That's next year's.
I was just seeing if Ray could lock down another number that he would have on the amount of picks that he was hoping for, but nope. We're gonna stick with one.
We're going one.
So Bill, let me take it as you're pissed. They're trading back. They have traded back out of this first round. If that's the case, and they got a couple picks here, what do they need to tackle? Is Ray right? Are you sticking firmly on the defensive side of the ball?
Yeah, defense. I mean, I think you can find offensive linemen in the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round. I mean, Bill's done it before. I mean, so I think, you need speed. You need speed, and you need to get younger on linebackers. You need to get guys that aren't injury prone. The Josh Uches of the world, the Anthony Jennings of the world can't stay healthy. You need guys that are going to come in and can play, be impact players. And defense, linebackers, and I'm staying away from cornerback. Honest to God, go with what you have. Draft corners later in the draft. I just think I don't trust him drafting cornerbacks early in the first, second round. I think linebackers, defensive linemen, I think he's usually pretty solid when it comes to those guys. I'm leaning to that, and get guys that could fucking cover, and get guys that have got speed. Front 7 is where you got to go. You got to get younger there. Leave cornerback till later in the draft, unless you move up and get a stud. If you get the top 2 quarterbacks in the draft, that's one thing. They're not going to fall to you. The LSU kid and the Washington kid, I think, Cincinnati kids, they're not going to be there. So at that point, I mean, that's your biggest need. You can stock up 3rd, 4th guy. I think 3rd, 4th round guys. You've seen the Ellis Hobbs of the world. You've seen the fucking Asante Samuels of the world. You've seen all those guys come out of the 3rd, 4th round. Logan Ryan. I mean, so you could do okay there. So just
it is true. I mean, Bill treats that second round like his honeypot for fucking value. Like even Gronk came out, huge back injury concerns. That's why he dropped. Barmore had off the field concerns for whatever that was. Like all these guys that he drafted in there have either been injured or a reason they dropped to the second round, and he sees the value. But Bill's right. There's been so many busts because of that in the second round. Or I guess Kyle Duggar out of probably would have slipped to the 6th round, but Belichick has to be smarter than everybody and go up there and pick him in the second.
Yeah, but that one's hit. But you're talking
hit, Jordan, but there's no reason
Jordan
to fucking
Richards
use
is the world.
Tavon
Wilson. Remember Tavon Wilson was a second round pick.
Stupid shit.
And he shouldn't even have been drafted. So it's the way he does it into maneuvering. You've seen the guys, Gronk, Chad Jackson, he moved up for. He fucking missed. Gronk, he moved up for. Barmore, he moved up for. I mean, he uses it like he moves back, and then to get that extra pick, he moves up. But I mean, it's hit or miss. He's 3 times maybe. I mean, geez, come on.
I don't mind the maneuvering. Like you get to a spot, but like identify a better player. Just be better at identifying the player.
Joe Williams, you moved up in the second round to get, and he's not even going to make the team this year.
Let me give you another what if. What if they do select 21? What position are you okay with them taking at 21, Bill?
Linebacker, defensive lineman, preferably linebacker. I need
How
a guy
about left tackle? We've already gone over linebacker and defensive lineman. That's the key need. I think we are all somewhat in an agreement, Ray, with throw cornerback in there. How about left tackle at 21? Stud left tackle. I don't know. Name him. He drops for some reason and he's sitting there.
I guess. I mean, that's obviously a need, but I just don't want a left tackle at 21. I just think you have bigger needs on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, Mac Jones is going to get rid of the ball pretty quickly. I think they're going to still design that same offense and get it out of his hand quickly. The defense, I just think that's it. I it's not a sexy pick to go offensive line. You did that 4 years ago with Wynn, right? He went 23. You're right. Yeah, so it's the same thing.
Was in that same range. Like you get a left tackle in the early 20s, they're going to be good to marginally good. They're not going to be great.
I thought Solder went in the teens. He went like 18 or something.
What about 18, 21? What's early? The difference?
He went in this. Volmar went in the second round. He wasn't even invited to Colin Brown. Matt Light.
But you understand what I'm saying?
Pick,
the difference in the of the elite level of a left tackle in that top 10, top 15, even Solder went 17. I think you're right. Past that, like you're getting a Nate Solder or an Isaiah Wynn. Before that, you're getting a Tony Baselli, right? So like the difference in those players it's not worth the 21st pick. I agree with you. I need more playmaking ability out of 21. Or then if that's not there, then I'm okay with them trading back, honestly, and finding it in the second and third round in a undisclosed amount of picks.
And the Patriots track record of offensive linemen in the later rounds. I mean, going back to Dan Copen and Matt Light, all these guys in the later rounds. I know Light was a second round pick, but you had some studs later in the draft.
The only thing I'll push back on that,
I
hear a lot of people saying that Dante Scarnecchia had a lot to do.
Yeah, I know
the Dan
did,
Copens and those guys of the world coming through, and the coaching staff in general was just stacked in those days when they were bringing guys out of the woodwork and making them.
You don't have faith in Patricia? You don't have.
Can I ask you a question?
Let me give you one more what if, because we got to move on to the Red Sox. If they trade up, give me one position you want them to trade up for, Ray.
Wide receiver.
Agreed. I'm wide receiver. Bill?
I'm going to surprise you, but I'm going one of the top cornerbacks. I think
fucking
that's one
cunt. You're such a cunt. You're such a fucking cunt. God, I fucking hate Bill. I hate Bill.
Quick break. We'll be right back with some Red Sox talk.
Fucking criticizes me all goddamn week. You can't take a cornerback. You can't pick a quarterback first round. Fucking Bill. Yeah, trade up. Get a quarterback. You fucking.
No, I said if you can, as long as you can get one of the top two guys out there, if they're going to fall to 21, awesome, take them. But I mean, Rich just said if you can move up, right? That was the.
Yeah, that was the
question.
parameters. I got it. Yeah.
If we can move up and target one position at that point, wide receiver, I go a quarterback. You need a shutdown guy. And if you get the shutdown guy at LSU, we play in the SEC. I like SEC cornerbacks. I like defensive backs out of that conference.
Okay, welcome back. Ray's hot. Bill's feeling good. Let's see if we can temper that a little bit. Bill, what is wrong with your Red Sox? Let me answer the question. Pitching, and you can go anywhere else from there. Kind of everything else is wrong. I never hear those under the comment because
can you go to Ray real quick? I'm going to try to order a drink.
You have a waitress.
About to find out.
Okay. Ray, baseball guy Ray.
Yes, sir.
What's wrong with the Red Sox? 4 straight losses. Now we're recording this on Wednesday. Baseball plays every day, so they got fucking 7 more games before this is released. No, this is Friday. Sorry, I got my shows mixed up. So they've played 2 more games. Let's assume they've lost. They lost both. They've lost 6 straight. And the bullpen lost 2 more. They've blown 3 out of 4 games between Toronto and Tampa Bay. Oh, by the way, they're in your division. I don't know. They look like a losing team right now. What do you want to pin it on? You feel free to go down the email if you want.
No. You guys are obviously going to go pitching. I'm going to go hitting. I mean, last year we said if those bats go quiet, it's going to be a bad experience for these Red Sox, and bats have gone quiet. I think there's only 2 players right now hitting over 300, which is Xander and Alex Verdugo, but I don't think Alex Verdugo has played every game. So the bats have gone quiet. He has played every game. Thanks, Bill, for that stupid fucking face. Yep. Thank you. Yeah. So, but yeah, other than that, everyone's been pretty quiet. So yeah, I mean, the bats need to wake up in order for this team to start getting into it and not having to rely on the bullpen so much.
I just go, before you go, Bill, the reason why I go pitching here is because they will hit. They will hit. Bill said it a lot. In the early parts of the season, you need to rely on pitching because bats don't come around for a little bit when things start to heat up. And you look at that lineup and you have guys that have done it throughout their career that are veterans that you know are going to hit. Some of them at the top of the MLB. So I look at that pitching staff and I look at the bullpen. I don't even know half the names, first of all. And the other half kind of make me want to throw up. And you've just seen it here. The guys that they bring in, like, do you have any faith that they're going to get the job done? And does the team have any faith that they're going to get the job done? They're not playing like it.
The only faith I had is in the starting rotation, and they don't know if that's going to go forward at Garrett Whitlock. You know, that's what I've been saying. You got to figure out his role, and now you're dangling him. We don't know if we're going to keep starting him. You started him Saturday, but it just shows that this week alone is his biggest value is in the bullpen. Can I remind you of the quote after week 1, series number 1, that we went 1-2 to the Yankees, quote unquote, WEI, quote unquote, we have the best bullpen in Major League Baseball. Fast forward 12 games, and where are we now? The bullpen just lost every single game in this series. Mind you, what grand slam, everything. After 7 innings, and I want to question the reason why Nathan Eovaldi got pulled out the other night after 72 pitches in 7 innings. I thought that was a travesty, and he was cruising. He had 40 pitches through 4 innings, cruising.
You
So
think,
sorry
to interrupt you, let you go back to it, but do you think if Cora is there, Nathan Eovaldi gets pulled there?
Yep.
Yeah, it's just the nerds.
I do. I just think
Fucking nerds.
Not if it's
nature.
September. Not if
Can
it's
I- can I-
September or something, right? I mean, Cora has enough string to leave him in there in a bigger game.
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, I'll case in point, Walker Buehler the other night just threw his first complete game. Walker Buehler is one of the best pitchers in baseball and deserves to go long. You've seen Dave Roberts say in multiple games, you saw it last year. Why is Corey Neville starting game 1? Oh, I lost that decision. That's completely and utterly front office decisions, and this is the way it goes. I've always hoped that Alex Cora had that pull, and let's see. I think in April, you want to question it, but I understand why it's still. But in that point, you're
Fucking 72 pitches.
72 pitches. It's not like it's 100 pitches. Like in that point, your bullpen sucks.
And who'd they bring in? They brought in
Strom came in. Strom, is that his name? Strom. He came in. Daubach had a bad error. Strom got it, flipped it to him, hit him in the chest. Daubach dropped it. Next thing you know, they brought him out. Tyler Danish came in, gave up a grand
Danish,
slam.
the kid that no one's heard of, the old Danish boy that just came up from out of nowhere. They throw him into a game, and Eovaldi just could have went 9, and you could have cruised through that thing and won it. They don't seem like a team. They feel fragile. They feel weak, like Ben Simmons level weak, just mentally not in there, not in it, not looking to play, not looking to compete, not looking to win. I mean, there's some guys, the Evaldis of the world are always going to go out there and throw, but and Bogarts has had a decent start, but it just seems flat. It seems like they're not ready to compete.
Yeah, and that's a shame. And like I said, with Whitlock, you're kind of just seeing his value. You probably, instead of starting him on Saturday, you probably got him in a couple games. He went 4 innings on Saturday. Look, was money. I think he had 1 hit. He was.
If you're gonna, sorry to interrupt you. If you're gonna start him and only pitch 4 innings, then keep him in the bullpen. Like,
yeah,
you would think that these brainwashed nerds, in the way that they've looked at baseball and the way that they've handled bullpens, would understand his value in that role and what 4 innings means 7 through 9, as opposed to 1 through 4. Like, what are you even doing with Daniel Bard? Ever heard of him? You're going to fucking Daniel Bard this kid? He's going to give him mentally shake this kid out of the earth and destroy his mental game.
What a good comeback for him. He's closing games for Colorado.
But the Sox almost destroyed him. Closer, bullpen, starter.
Well, they made him a starter, and that's what did it. He got the yips anyways. But yeah, Whitlock, you see his value now, right? So, I mean, you got to figure it out. You have starter reinforcements coming with Chris Sale, and you have James Paxton coming up in probably the All-Star break for both. I would say I don't expect Chris Sale back before July. So, I mean, you're looking to have All-Star break for them, and at that point, you have nobody where you have no one in your bullpen where you need a big out to come in and get a big out, and that's Whitlock, and that's who you need.
Yep, I agree with you. Get your drink there, Bill. Before that, don't worry, she's not on camera. It's just me.
Yeah,
where's the tip?
He'll give it to her later.
Thanks, babe.
Just the tip. Speaking of just the tips, let's slow down over to
She's trying to kill me.
that didn't get on camera. That look did not get on camera. That's okay.
She left the bottle.
There you go. Let's throw it on over to headlines with the obvious one.
Thank you there, Richard. Let me find the headlines. There we go. The Celtics completed the sweep of the Brooklyn Nets on Monday. Kyrie Irving was promoted himself to general manager, co-owner, before telling a stranger to suck his dick on a pilgrimage to Whole Foods. The Celtics will, by all counts, be taking on the defending champs of Milwaukee Bucks in the second round. Yes, if it's in the headlines, it's true, Bill. Game 1 of that series will be held in Boston on Sunday at 1 p.m. The Bruins got a 4-2 win against Florida on Tuesday to all but sure up a first-round matchup with the Carolina Hurricanes. The Hurricanes hold a 12,000-4 goal differential against the Bruins this season. The Bruins are confident. The Red Sox suck, and Racerdamus says Bill Belichick traded out of the first round, giving New England collective blue balls. And an amount of second and third round picks. This has been Headlines with the Obvious One. Back to you, Richard.
Thank you, Ray.
Told you I ordered a drink.
You know, it came. It wasn't prompt, but it came.
Did you get my text there, Richard? All right.
Running a little late. All right. Well, he shows up when he shows up. Let's do a little Celtics. A little Celtics talk. Obviously, they sweep the Nets on Monday. The closest point differential in the NBA in the last 50 years. As I said in the opening, 18 points. I don't know who. This was going to be a question for Jack, but he's not here. So I'll throw it over to you and see if he wants to pick up on it. I mentioned this in the opening take that the national, they're all pinning this on the Nets underachieving. But do you think it was more Celtics, Raymond, or do you blame Kyrie and KD and Steve Nash and their debacle of a dumpster fire for the failure? Or was it more Celtics putting the pressure on them?
The Celtics are probably playing some of the best defense that I've seen in a very long time.
Would you say since the 2004 Pistons?
I kind of want to go there. I kind of want to go there.
Did Tayshaun Prince and Rip Hamilton have Defensive Player of the Year votes in that year? I'm pretty sure one of them. Tayshaun Prince.
No, it was Ben Wallace. You dumb fuck.
Oh, Ben Wallace. Dude, I forgot about
Ben Wallace. Yeah, he
might have got Defensive Player of the Year, but
he might have got a couple votes. But to your credit, Ray, I have heard more than one person say this is the best defense they've ever seen. Now they're all Boston media green team bobos.
When I heard Felger and Mass talk about this, my 8th grade erection almost started to bloom.
Who's the guy with half a face? Who's the guy with half a face on?
It's Forsberg.
Oh, okay.
Old Two-Face. Old Two-Face in the
this is what the Celtics are gonna do.
I'm pretty sure that's a birth defect. We're gonna have to beep the whole thing. Anyway, right back.
No, you're not.
Back to you.
No, I think it's a great defense. I mean, yeah, Steve Nash, he's not a head. He's a head coach, but he's still having rookie problems with all these egos on his team. You could tell down the stretch, he should have called timeout a few times in the fourth quarter. Just let the guys keep playing. You got to have a better coaching when you're in the playoffs like that. But this defense is just incredible right now. Marcus Smart was all over Kyrie Irving. Tatum
46 points over the last 3 games for Kyrie Irving when guarded by Marcus Smart.
Thanks, Bill. And I think Tatum did a great job on KD. So all in all, I think it's a great defense by the Boston Celtics. One that you haven't seen since 2004.
Bill, is this the dumpster fire at its peak blaze, or do you give the Celtics credit for igniting the fire a little bit more?
I give the Celtics credit for igniting the fire even more. I thought you saw 2 superstar performances out of Jaylen Brown, who I actually thought was the most consistent and best player in the series. And then you saw Jason Tatum do Jason Tatum things. I mean, those are we talked about winning big series. I know it's a first round, but the Nets are no joke. I know it's a dumpster fire over there, but you still have 2 top 15 players in the world, including the best player in the world, and you completely shut him down by defensive looks. He had he was a typical KD game in Game 7, but your defense completely and utterly shut him down. It gives you the Celtics more credit. I thought you were going to beat him. I didn't think you were going to sweep him. I thought it sent the message, and we questioned in Brooklyn also, not Brooklyn, but Milwaukee kind of did the same thing. They avoided Brooklyn. No one wanted to play Brooklyn, and the Celtics said, fuck that. We wanted the 2nd seed. We all questioned it. Did you want to lose? But you know what? You went in and just swept them. They're still a legit team. I just don't think Steve Nash. It's all on Steve Nash. You won because you have the coaching advantage. Steve Nash is a rookie coach. I know you have 2 rookie coaches in there, but you have Steve Nash just did not know what to do. They didn't switch up anything. Their big move was Blake Griffin, who I thought in Game 3 and Game 4, especially Game 4, was instrumental in drawing fouls and big threes. So I mean, that was their big change, but that was it. They couldn't match the Celtics, where you wanted Kevin Durant to do Kevin Durant things, but they couldn't do it. The Celtics' will to win, I think, had a lot to do with it. Maybe a lot of disrespect and a lot of shit from last year, but that was it. The Brooklyn gave their best fight, in game 4, and they just couldn't do it. And like I said, we said it in the opening takes, they put their foot on their throat every single time Brooklyn got close on their home court, game 3 and game 4. Every single time they made a little run, the Celtics clamped down, and the next thing you know, Brooklyn couldn't make a stop. It was all on the Celtics. I mean, this says more about the Celtics in my book, because I knew what Brooklyn was. You know what I mean? If they caught fire,
Bill,
they were going to kill us.
Take a breath. Why didn't they put LaMarcus Aldridge in there?
That's what his heart's going to explode.
But still, just give him a couple minutes each game. He's on the roster. He's on the bench. He's suited up. Give a different look to the Celtics. I mean, put LaMarcus Aldridge in, who was once in his heyday was an all-star. He was a great player. I mean, he could have done some different things against Al Horford, I think.
And why isn't and the biggest question mark right now? And I'm sorry to interrupt real quick, but Andre Drummond played the first 4 minutes of the game 3 or game 4, and you never saw him again. That's a big like why he was owning the Celtics.
The position you're talking about, the Claxton kid who missed 10 free throws in a row,
NBA record.
Mm-hmm.
NBA record beats Shaq's. That being said, he did his job. He was the only guy rebounding for him. He was scoring buckets around the rim. He was delivering. Obviously, he just couldn't shoot at the free throw line. So if you want to take him out for a fucking a guy in LaMarcus Aldridge, you can't move. Like defensively,
he's I'm not saying
he retired from a fat heart.
It's not that people are getting on Steve Nash. I guess rightfully so. It looked like he did nothing, but guess what? When you have Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, who said when you were hired, we don't need a coach, that's your job. That's it.
GM either,
your job
apparently.
is to not do anything because Kyrie Irving's on your fucking team. Like it's one way or the other. Like the Nets organization gave Kyrie Irving the leeway to be the raging fucking lunatic asshole that he is. And Steve Nash had to deal with it because Kevin Durant enabled it. And that's the team that you got. That being said, they still shot 42% from 3. They shot 50% from the field. The Celtics defense did a number on frustrating Kevin Durant, and that all trickled down to the rest of their team not being able to really pick up the slack. But it's not just their defense. Bill's right. The Celtics are just a better team. They had the will to win, and every time they needed a bucket offensively, they got one. Either from Jalen or from Jason, or I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. We asked to trade Marcus Smart for 1.5 years, but Marcus Smart. So their big 3 came up big. Huge.
It was only, just so everyone knows and the listeners know, it was Bill that wanted Marcus Smart to trade. Rich and I were all aboard.
No. I was on the trade Marcus Smart. I might have been the first guy on the trade Marcus Smart trade. After Bill and I
said, we said they were captain.
After he was after the Toronto series in the bubble where we named him captain, and then at the Heat series we wanted him traded.
Hey, take police. We're allowed to take
that. Yeah. No, we're only semi-professional.
We also said we wanted to trade Robert Williams, and that's looking day by day.
No, I'll still trade Robert Williams. Tell me who's coming back. Cat.
Oh, he ain't leaving now with Anthony Edwards. They got a docking situation going down.
I take
there.
my cat take back too from the text chain.
No.
He's so quiet. He's so quiet. Oh,
we're in Minnesota now.
He sucks. Hey, I'll give you something that it's not on the email here that we don't have to talk to Jack about. How about that? Oh shit! Sorry, I just forgot the ref's name. What did you think?
Scott Foster.
Scott Foster, the extender, as Big Joe Murray on 98.5 called him. Great nickname, by the way. I don't know if he came up with it, but he called him the extender. What did you look? The first half of that game, Seth Curry had 3 fouls in the first 2 minutes, I think. They were calling bad fouls on the Nets left and right. And I was like, all right, maybe the fix is in for the Celtics to fucking end this thing. But then you saw it trickle down to Tatum. He had 3. Those last 3 fouls were
garbage.
Terrible.
Wasn't one he was going up to make a block?
Well, I'll give it to you. The 4th foul that he got was running out on Seth Curry on a 3. Seth Curry dove his hip into him, which should be an offensive foul in the NBA.
Used to be.
Not in that game. They gave it to Tatum. That was 4. His 5th was Blake Griffin. They called him for an offensive wishy-washy. The superstar should get the call on that, especially in that part of the game. And then obviously we all know the 6th foul that they fouled him on, which was just utter bullshit, which wasn't Scott Foster, by the way. It was his running mate on the other side of the court. Yeah, but anyway, your thoughts on the extender.
How don't they fucking review that? Why didn't they review the 6th foul?
They already reviewed the
They
fifth
reviewed
foul.
and hit the 5th foul.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
Okay,
But,
so you go ahead, Ray. What's your take on this?
with Tim Donaghy like knowingly fixing games and coming out writing books about it, and then you have Scott Foster, who's notoriously bad around the whole league. Everyone hates him for pretty much how he calls games. Why don't you get rid of this shit in the NBA?
Because Scott Foster called Tim Donaghy about 500 times.
137 documented phone calls.
Documented phone calls for under 30 seconds around every single game that supposedly Donaghy fixed for the mob or whatever bet on. And so the fact that he's even still reffing games and there's a reputation, the Celtics going into this game in the Scott Foster era were number 2 in personal fouls called in his era. That says something. And to see him in home court, if this was a game 7, regardless of what series against the Celtics, I would flip the fuck out and you would know the fix is in. I've always said this. Hold on real quick. I've always said this about the NBA. It's one of the only sports that is can be completely disregarded. Like the outcome is dictated by a third party, and that is the refs. Because once you're in that bonus, you can get the bonus with 9 minutes left of the game. It directly leads to points. Baseball, basketball, football, it doesn't lead. I mean, hockey, it doesn't lead to points. Basketball, you put them on the line, it's fucking free shots.
Or you can foul out their best player with 3 minutes left in a fourth quarter, up by 3, and give the team a chance. Which, to our point, the Celtics just denied it. I mean, Kyrie Irving hit that deep 3 to bring them down 3. Celtics came back. Marcus Smart fouls Kevin Durant, either intentionally or unintentionally. There was 20-something seconds left. They could have come down and tied the game with a 3-pointer. Smart puts him on the free throw line.
I would have fouled him too. I know I was watching the national broadcast. I don't know where you guys, but Van Gundy's like, dumb play. I'm like, no, I was watching the game going, no, I don't want him to shoot a 3.
No, I mean, look,
put him on the line.
He missed the second shot. It was a great play. Udoka referenced it. He was asked about it, and he referenced that Marcus had it in the back of his mind that I'm going to be aggressive here, and if I foul him, it's okay because we're up 3, and that's what he went for the steal and fouled him. So, Marcus Smart, fucking decent play, and he misses the second free throw, and then they run on the breakaway. That play right there, Raymond. Who got the rebound? Al
Horford.
Jalen got the rebound.
Oh yeah, but
and he outlet it to Marcus Smart, and then Al Horford got the offensive rebound for the putback. That play doesn't happen last year. They hold the ball, they huddle up, they wait for the free throws, they try to milk the clock. There's just those plays in these games that have showed me that they've turned a corner. They've learned how to win. Jack is in the waiting room. I'm gonna let him in here.
Rich, I do need to apologize to you.
Oh, this should be good.
Al Horford. You liked it. I hated it. I said he was going to be a piece of shit. I wanted nothing to do with him. I thought he was washed up. But through 4 games, he's probably been your number 4 player right now through 4, and it's just
depending on how you look at it, he could be number 1. Bill, Mr. Al Horford. Jack, how are you, buddy?
I apologize.
Good.
I accept your apology, Bill. Sorry, Jack, to interrupt you. It's not often you get an apology from Mr. Queen Bill Gately, so I had to take that and soak it in.
I understand.
How's it going, man?
Of course. Good. Thank you for waiting on me. It wouldn't be the commuter rail if it wasn't late, but I'm here finally.
Perfect. It's been a while since I've had to deal with that shit, so I feel you. We're gonna jump right in here. So with us, Jack Simone from CLNS. That's hard to say. Media and a bunch of other stuff. You can go ahead and do that at the end. We were just talking about Scott Foster and the bullshit that went on with Tatum, and then finished up with the Celtics were able to get over it and overcome it, and have turned a corner. And that all started with the first question of in this sweep over the Nets. Was it more about the Celtics or was it more about the dumpster fire that is the Nets? So welcome to the show. Throw it on over to you.
Of course. Yeah. I want to start by saying the Nets are a dumpster fire. And I'm not saying that they're not a dumpster fire because they definitely are. But I think the Celtics played phenomenal defense. I mean, sure, Kevin Durant had some unforced turnovers, but you look at the defense. You look at the defense Tatum played on him. He was smothered the entire series. Obviously, he had a 39-point game in game 4. Kyrie had a 39-point game in game 1. But other than that, Marcus Smart was clamping up Kyrie Irving. Jason Tatum was clamping up Kevin Durant. And Goran Dragic was, just doing whatever he wanted. But that didn't matter because no one else could score the ball. So I think it's a real testament to how great this Celtics defense is all around. And I know they're all close games, but I mean, the defense of the Celtics, despite the Nets shooting splits, it's all about stopping the Stars, and they did just that when they needed to, and it resulted in a sweep. So,
yeah, we mentioned on the top 18-point differential, closest in the last 50 years in the NBA, in a sweep in the playoffs. So, do you think that how much will that benefit the Celtics moving forward in the playoffs here? Because that was one of, I think we spoke about it, Jack, one of my concerns on the Celtics being able to execute down the stretch in close games and pressure moments. And hey, 4 for 4 to start the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. They sucked in close games in the regular season, and that's because most of their close games were in the first half of the season when they just sucked in general. And then you get to the second half of the season, and they're just blowing teams out, so they didn't really have the opportunity.
However, not to interrupt you,
game.
Dallas, Miami.
Yeah.
Who's the other third one? There was 3.
Philly. Didn't they beat Philly by 49 or some shit?
No,
like
I'm
that
talking close games that they lost, which had me worried going into the series, Jack. That you got KD and Kyrie. You come down the last 3 minutes. Jesus, those are not guys you want to go up against. But prove me wrong. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, yeah, you're totally right, and you do that against Stars in the playoffs, and that shows that you got balls, and that's exactly what the Celtics did. They stopped KD and Kyrie in the closing moments. The Nets made it close when Scott Foster decided to handicap the Celtics in the final moments of Game 4, but they powered through. They played great defense. They made their shots when they needed to. Al Horford, like you guys mentioned when I hopped on, he played his role too. It all came together in those final moments, and they showed that really the only fatal flaw that most people saw about the Celtics heading into the playoffs, they kind of answered it. And obviously there's going to be other things. There's going to be new challenges as the Bucks come into town, or the Bulls. So not to disrespect the Bulls.
But dude, come on, the Bucks. How you stop Giannis? That's the big question.
Yeah. That's the big question. But as far as late game scenarios goes, the answers, they've answered all the questions, at least from my perspective, in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think so. I'm still, look, the Nets didn't play any. They tried at defense, you could see when they were hustling, but the team defense not there.
If Blake Griffin's your best defender, it's not going to work out.
The size and skill not there. It's a whole different story the next 2 rounds, which, that's a question I didn't answer. I thought even their offense got stagnant. It has times to get, it has a tendency to get stagnant from time to time. They'll need to just sharpen that up against the tougher competition, I think, moving forward. Speaking of that, the Bucks are coming to town. Let's be honest. They got 3. They got 3 to figure this out. The Bulls are dead in the water.
Yeah, Zach Levine's out today. They're done.
Yeah, they're done.
Sayonara.
So let's just start with the Middleton.
Is that Spanish? Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'll throw this out to all of you guys. What's the impact for the Bucks without Middleton in the lineup? Jack, go ahead and get us rolling.
Yeah, so over the years, I feel like there's a long list of Celtics killers, quote unquote. Evan Fournier is one now. Ish Smith has been one in the past, and the main one you talk about is Chris Middleton on the Bucks, right? Like whenever he comes to town, they defend Giannis pretty well, but it's just the Chris Middleton show every time, and that him being out changes the entire course of this series, because I know Giannis is the best player in the world. I'll just put that out there. He's the best player in the NBA. He's the best player on planet Earth right now.
You just beat.
But Chris Middleton is the one. All right. Well, he didn't play like the best player in the world. So regardless, you got one of the best in the business, but the Celtics defend Giannis probably better than any team in the league. I would argue they're one of the best teams at defending Giannis. And a lot of that is Al Horford and the help of Robert Williams on the weak side. And even Daniel Tice, he's a body. He'll get fouled out in 2 seconds, but he's a body. Chris Middleton's the guy making the shots at the end of games when you need him to on the perimeter. And without him, it's going to be Grayson Allen, who's been really good in the first round of his defense, but that's a major step down. And exactly right. It's not exactly
Grayson Allen.
Yeah, but
what you want.
But Jack, it's not just Middleton. I mean, all those guys can shoot. Right. So I mean, how are you going to double team Giannis if every single guy is hitting threes? Lopez can hit threes. Holiday can hit threes. Allen can hit threes. I mean, all these guys are outside shooters. If they're spot on, like, how are you going to compete? Like, I don't think the Celtics beat the Bucks. I really don't. I just the way I don't. I just think I like the Bucks.
Let me just give you sorry, Jack. I'll just give you some statistics
go.
here to go back here, Adam. Giannis has basically got a 500 record against the Celtics. I think he's 17-16 or something like that. Against every other major opponent in the East and also in the West, including the Lakers, the big time players, Miami's, the Phillies, the Lakers. He's well above 500, 12-4 type of records. The Celtics are the only team to really hold him in check. And that was mainly happening when they had Al Horford. So I accept your apology again for the Al Horford trade, but this was the biggest thing I had in mind. Giannis Antetokounmpo and Joel Embiid. Those two guys, Al Horford is the first line of defense. And then when you put a healthy Rob Williams on the backside and a perimeter defense that includes Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Marcus Smart, that's how you defend the Bucks. Not saying it's going to be easy. You're right. They got players, they got ballers, but Chris Middleton has hit so many fucking daggers against this team.
I'm picking
and guys'
against the
eyeballs
Celtics from here on out.
If he's not in the series, I got
that's
Celtics in 6, maybe. I mean, maybe 5.
Yeah.
I think they're rolling. Sorry, Jack, you were gonna go and put Bill to school. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Jack.
No. My thing is, over the years, like you said, Richard, they defend the Bucks extremely well, and that's a lot to do with Al Horford. And I'll counter your point, Bill. You're right. The Bucks shooters are like worlds above the net shooters, right? They've got Grayson Allen, they've got Brook Lopez, they've got Drew Holiday who's shooting really well. The Nets shot 40% from 3 in the first round against the Celtics, and that's including Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving shooting around 23% from 3 combined. So the Nets role players made a fuck ton of their shots. Goran Dragic didn't miss. Seth Curry didn't miss. Bruce Brown didn't miss. The Bucks have better shooters, but it will be very difficult for them to shoot as well as the Nets role players did in that series. So if you look at how they defended KD, I think that's how they should defend Giannis. You just double him whenever he touches the ball.
But are you going to put Jason Tatum on Giannis?
I put Al Horford on Giannis.
You're not going to put, but I mean that in that position too. But you also remember, like, I don't know, like,
look, you just stifled Durant. Durant came out.
Hold on, but the
2 of the games,
the coaching factor is huge too. Like between Budenholzer,
he made a better coach.
Stupid name.
Budenholzer.
Budenholzer has a title. What do you have?
Giannis has a title. God. Look, even Kevin Durant came out to the public and said, I didn't know where the help was coming from. I didn't know where the defense, like the Celtics defense stifled the best player in the world, the best offensive talent we've seen maybe ever. And they confused him. Like, it's like confusing Brady on defense. They shook him mentally. So you don't think you can do that to Giannis? I mean, come on. And the other point I want to make defensively for the Celtics and more so offensively for the Bucks, these are going to be close games, most likely. Where do the Bucks go to? They go to Drew Holiday on an ISO and try to kick out. Like, Giannis is not that guy. You put the ball in their hands with 7 seconds and create. Like,
Grayson Allen's not that guy either.
Drive to the hoop.
Ray,
Giannis,
do you want 15 seconds on Grayson Allen?
I fucking hate Grayson Allen. That fucking little cunt. That little dookie piece of shit. I hope he fucking tears an ACL this series. That piece of shit.
Ray's spite for Grayson Allen is going to make me root for the Bucks this series.
Jack, I'll give you your own 15 seconds of
Bucks and 6.
Some joy here. Do you want to just give us a quick appreciation for what is Grant Williams?
Oh, yes. I've loved Grant Williams since the moment they drafted him. I loved him last year, even when he was not very good last year. I'll be the first to admit it. Grant Williams is a crucial part of the Celtics rotation this year. I mean, you look at his shot making, you look at his ability to cut now when he gets the ball in his hand, they close out. And you look at the defense. I mean, he played great defense on Kevin Durant too. He does everything you want from a role player. And Jaylen Brown even tweeted today, Grant Williams got snubbed for the best teammate of the year award. If Jaylen Brown, the second star on the Celtics, is praising Grant Williams as the best teammate in the NBA, he's got to be doing something right. Right. You love the energy he plays with. The last time the Celtics played the Bucks, he almost tried to fight Bobby Portis, and Bobby Portis is a scary man. I want no part of Bobby Portis. So,
who did Bobby Portis punch in the head on Chicago?
They call him Miritich.
They traded him out of town. Yeah.
And now Miritich is out the league.
And I'm pretty sure I have this right. I'm pretty sure Ime challenged, he did a good job this year. Great job this year of challenging everybody to their individual roles, which I think was one of Brad Stevens' biggest weaknesses.
Flaws. Yep.
And I'm pretty sure he, said to his team, we need one of these guys. We need a Bobby Portis. We need an asshole, an agitator, a guy that can get out there. and he's kind of pulled Grant Williams out of that pack. And
We
said,
got Batman.
You can be that guy. Well, then he dubbed himself Batman. I fucking
Oh, what
hate
a
that
stupid
whole line
nickname
of-
in a terrible movie. But Jason Tatum had 3 assists in game 4, and it was Grant Williams threes too. So I mean, he had big shots. He kept him in game 3 and game 2. Like
Him and Payne Pritchard.
As
Him
much
and Payne
as
Pritchard
I
played great off the bench.
I guess I owe Rich another apology. As much as I've hate Grant Williams, he's came through. Grant Williams, Rich has been a big Grant Williams guy. Congratulations.
You know, I have a
Amazing.
little bit of basketball intelligence in me. Ray doesn't. He's still waiting for the cum cookie. Last question here
Ooh, can
before
I come on it?
predictions. Sure, yeah, we can do it together. Time Lord came back
Double Dutch runner.
wicked early, obviously, and looked rusty. Clearly looked rusty. Clearly looked a little bit half a step behind, maybe a step behind. If he can get back into form, what kind of boost does that give this team? And looking even further ahead, even if you want to get to the finals, you know, against a team like the Warriors, even with Draymond Green, who's praised Robert Williams in the past, you know, what's the difference maker Robert Williams can make from what he was there in the short minutes he got into maybe getting back even to the starting lineup if he can get fully healthy?
I think it's everything because, Bill, like you said, the Nets, they were clearly something's wrong with the Nets. And as much as they made their outside shots, like they don't really have an interior presence. I mean, you just get Nicholas Claxton down there and you foul him and he bricks, 18 free throws in a series. That was fine. And maybe Giannis does the same thing, but the Bucks are exactly. The Bucks are better in the paint. Giannis clearly is one of the best players in the world and he will just dunk all over an entire team. But having Robert Williams there on the weak side to help will at the very least, have Giannis have to think, right? He's going to have to think before he goes into the paint because there will be that defensive player of the year caliber player on the weak side ready to help over him. He did get some votes. It wasn't a lot of votes, but he got some votes. So as great as Daniel Tice has been in covering for Robert Williams, he obviously doesn't provide the same
cracker down
athleticism. Yeah, he doesn't provide the same athleticism. Everything like that. And if I'm being honest with you, maybe this is a hot take, but I've said it consistently on my podcast and to my friends and shit. I fear the Heat more than I fear the Bucks, and that goes with Chris Middleton out. It's just the Heat are a better cohesive unit, and the defense that they play allows them to match the Celtics. I mean, you saw what happened in the last time the two teams met at full strength. Obviously, the Celtics didn't play well, but no matter if the Celtics play well or not, that's going to be a dogfight. And like I said, the Celtics historically defend Giannis and the Bucks very, very well. So I'll give you my prediction. I think Celtics in 6. That's what I'm going to go with. It could very easily go 7. And if Middleton doesn't play and Giannis has a few bad games because the Celtics defend well, it could go 5. But I'm pretty confident going into the series. But then again, Giannis averages 50. There's only so much you can fucking do at that point. But,
I fear the Heat too, because I think Dwight Bosch, aka Adebayo, is a worse matchup for the Celtics than Giannis.
Jack doesn't know that. You gotta explain that to Jack.
All right, so if Dwight Howard and Chris Bosh had a baby, it would look like Dwight
Yeah,
it would look
Bam,
like
I had to go
Adebayo.
look at this, and he's right.
He's right. That is like scarily accurate.
Yeah,
So,
I forget Bama Adebayo's name a lot because I just call him
Because
Dwight
we
Bosch.
just call him Dwight Bosch.
his real name is Edris. His name's Edris.
Either way,
Here's a
but I
fun
think
fact
he's
for
a
you.
worse matchup for the Celtics than
Yeah.
Giannis is, honestly. And he has owned the Celtics. And as good as Robert Williams is, he's always struggled there. So I think with Miami, the toughness, Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry, that team scares the shit out of me. There's 2 of us on the show that they also scare the shit out of. Ray's dumbass only fears Philadelphia, I believe.
No, I said Philadelphia's
About
gonna beat the Heat.
about to blow the first 3-0 lead in NBA playoff history.
Please
Philadelphia.
Please do.
That'd
Anyway,
be
happens so bad.
Yeah, and it could be said, and this goes against one of my points, and Ray might jump down my third here, but it could be said Jimmy Butler's the best player in the playoffs right now.
You
Dude has
fucking-
been balling out. Dude's
you
been
guys are
balling out.
assholes.
Jimmy
I hate both
Butler.
of you.
Jimmy Butler has been a top 10 player in this league for the last 3-4 years.
Jack, you don't want to get into this hornet's nest now. We appreciate you jumping on, bud. Go ahead and let us know where we can find all your stuff, and we'll catch you again in the playoffs here.
For sure. Yeah. Thank you guys for having me on. You guys can follow me on Twitter at JackSimoneNBA. Like, it was said, I write for CLNS Media right now, as well as heavy.com, Celtics blog, at the Hive, Hoops Habit, bunch of random places. But yeah, thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it. Always a good time.
In your TikTok, Jack, before Jack goes, his TikTok, what do you do with finding a player like the what is that called? What you find a
basketball reference speed runs.
Yeah.
Speed runs.
That's pretty impressive to watch. I watch that all the time and was like, that is very impressive, Jack. Nice job.
I don't know.
Thank you.
I'm not on these trivial children's fucking.
Bill gets the paper in the morning with ball sack hanging out of his robe, and the kids run away. So
I'm not gonna lie, I do miss.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna get to the room. We'll see you, Jack. It's fun.
Thank you
always,
for having
man.
me.
Thanks. Take it easy.
Later, Jack.
Thank you.
Bye, Jack.
Sky rockets in flight. Afternoon delight. You guys have it, I think. Afternoon delight.
I don't know, Ron. That sounds kind of crazy.
Nice butt, fatty.
Ooh, yep, we're back.
Oh, dude, did he move? Look at the chair. He slid it. Oh,
He purposely
dude,
moved
that
the
sly
chair, so-
motherfucker. Did you purposely, you fat fuck, move that chair over there so we could see your fat ass?
Oh, come on, guys. Why would I do something like that?
I like to watch it wiggle.
Just wiggle wobble. Wiggle wobble.
I like to hear see those old balls hang between your butt cheeks.
That was a fun afternoon delight. We got to get to this Bruins Hurricanes talk. As Rice said in the headlines, the Hurricanes hold something like a 12,000 to 1 goal differential this year against the Bruins. However, Carolina has come back to earth. The Bruins have added to their team, specifically in Lindholm, which has given them, what I would call a shutdown D pair, even though the rest of their D kind of sucks. Their goalies have solidified themselves. Allmark looks like he should be the guy to get the start here and see how far his leash goes. Give me your 30-second thoughts on Carolina here in round one for the Bruins and what the Bruins look like. And I'll just add, your boy David Pastrnak injured again with a injury that won't go away in his core. We'll see how much he can give you.
Yeah, I scored a goal first game back, but whatever. Like I said, just keep him healthy. Don't sacrifice health for seeding. You're playing Carolina. Rich, I'm going to say it right now. This is the year of the butthole tattoo. This is the year you're gonna beat Carolina in 6 games. I think that the way you're playing, the way Allmark's playing,
Bill's
the way
Bruins positivity is so
sickening.
Ridiculous.
The way you added Lindholm, that you have a shutdown pair. You kind of saw it right now. You shut down Florida on Tuesday night. What is that? Today's Wednesday, so Tuesday night. Yep. So you shut them down on Tuesday night, and that they just won 14 straight games, 15 straight games. This is the year for Ray to get an asshole tattoo from the Bruins. I'll take a logo right on his brown hole. I want to see a blue knot tattoo. That's what I want to see.
Oh, that would work.
If that comes into fruition, that it actually happens, I would do it because I'm not a little baby back bitch like you are, Bill, who wouldn't shave his face or head because you're a little cunt. But I don't have to worry about that because the Bruins are going to get swept to Carolina Panthers first round.
I have 2 things. Number one, the old brown and yellow logo from the Bruins would work perfectly in that situation.
Yeah, because I would have natural brown right there, so it'd be perfect.
Yeah, no. Well, way to go, Ray. You and colors work well together. Secondly, I don't know if they're gonna get. I don't really have a prediction because I can't watch the games because Nesson fucking sucks. Fuck you, John Henry.
I'm
Fuck
almost
you, Fubo.
hold on.
YouTube
I'm pretty
TV.
sure he owns it. Do you think he owns it because they're fucking sponsoring every Nesson shit?
He probably does.
I'm
they also
pretty
don't have
sure.
TNT. How do you not have? So they're now in a fight with
what?
Turner Broadcasting. Fubo doesn't have any Turner Broadcasting
Oh.
stations.
Rich, I'll send you my
pretty
YouTube TV account. You can watch.
I have a YouTube TV. They don't have Nesson.
Yeah, but they have TNT.
I know. What do you want me to do? So now we got to order every streaming service to get all the.
And then it would be the
Bitch.
same amount as it'd be the same amount as Comcast.
Fucking
Get cable,
bullshit.
motherfucker.
Fucking
Yeah, fuck
bullshit. Anyway, let's
Simple
go
Mind
back
of
on
the week.
tattoo. Now we'll do simplest minds of the week. Be right back.
Ben Simmons. What a cunt.
And we're back.
Bill, Cadence, come on, shut the fuck up. Let Rich run the show. Thanks.
Are you stupid or something? I'm as stupid as a stupid does.
And we're back.
So much better when you're not here.
Oh, that's good. This is good. Oh boy.
And we're back.
And we're back.
I just wanted you to
That's
say.
what I was gonna say. Yeah.
What are you guys singing? Backstreet Boys?
No.
Back.
Keep going.
Back in the New York groove.
No, who's not in the New York groove? Ben Simmons. Beautiful
Simmons.
segue, Rich. Ben Simmons, the saga. We have covered this, Bill. You touched on the opening take. It's beyond simplest minds. It's beyond funny, even. Like, fuck this guy. He's a thief. It's
a money grab,
thief.
Rich. It's a money grab. I want to.
Well, I'll let you go. Hold on. I'm going to finish with my point. I texted you guys earlier today. I won't be surprised. Here's my bold prediction. Here's my butthole tattoo prediction. Ben Simmons won't play in the NBA ever again. You won't see Ben Simmons again.
If it's to get his money and he can run back to the down under in Australia where he's from, then sure. He's suing for $19 million. He's on the books for 3 years and $143 million guaranteed over the next 3 years. This is it. This is the way he's going to get his money. And Bale, you might be right. He might never play again. The excuse that his mental block from last year's playoffs, who he hasn't played a game in 10 months, right?
Oh,
Roughly
I think it's been longer than that.
10 months.
June of last year.
Hasn't played a
Playoffs of last
game.
year.
Hasn't played a game in 10 months, and the mental block that he's had for 10 months didn't allow him to play this game because possibly that's the reason why his back injury flared up. That's a fucking problem. This is a mental case. This is Gabby Douglas in the Olympics 2.0. Fuck these guys. Fuck this young
Gabby Douglas.
Simone Biles, Bill.
Simone Biles. Who's Gabby Douglas? Oh, no. Simone Biles. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I mixed up my Olympic. I mixed up my
Okay. We get it. Like Ben Simmons has been dragged and should continue to get dragged. The fact that he didn't show up for game 4 after sitting on the bench looking like a fucking Ronald McDonald for 3 games is just
Rich. Is if that's 2-1 going into game 4, he's back.
No, he's not.
back.
He was never going to play. Never. You know what he did? He or his agent leaked that to the
Rich
Nets
Paul.
that I'm close. Rich Paul said, look, my back 10 days straight. Adrian Wojnarowski reported 10 days straight of no pain. You know, we look good. Obviously the Nets are monitoring that. So yeah, it looks good. You know, we're thinking we're going to play. Just for whatever reason to hold faith with the Nets. He was
They're pissed.
He was never going to play.
They're pissed.
Never going to play. I don't
He's
know
locked
why.
up for 3 more years there.
No, they're pissed. Like they're pissed
fuck
because
yeah, they're pissed.
they
They
just
traded
met with
James
him.
Harden. They traded James Harden for this.
They already
fucking
met
guy.
with him today. With the future of his team. He wants to play, but he had a mental block. That's where this coming is. He had a mental block, but he still wants to play. No, they're
And the
pissed.
mental block went down to his back.
They
and hurt his
they
back.
expected him back for the playoffs. It was like, come on, this is a money
he
grab.
sucks.
This is a money grab because he can use it to get $143 million over the next 3 years. He's going to get a buyout. They're going to say, fuck it, we're going to buy you out, and it's going to be
And then he's going to go bye-bye.
So Rich, you
It's
are
not
right
even a money grab though, Bill. It's I don't want to play basketball. He quit on LSU, didn't play in the NCAA tournament. He quit on Philly, wouldn't shoot in the 4th quarter. He quit on the Nets, wouldn't even suit up. The guy is a coward when it comes to basketball. He doesn't want to fucking play. That's it.
If I'm Brooklyn, I'm pushing him to like think about like Brandon Roy back in the day where it was insurance, right? So it's like, you know what, insurance, your money's guaranteed. Don't come back. You're gonna get this huge lump sum. Blah blah blah. Loop it into that. Get your money. Insurance pays it. It's on your books, off your books. But the Brooklyn's not paying that $143 million.
Stephen A. Smith has brought up the point that he is steadfast on that. There's going to be a clause in the next CBA called the Ben Simmons clause that it's going to be pay for play, and if you're cleared to play by the team doctors, you have to play or you don't get paid.
I've said it.
It's
going to
be some type of clause like that. The Kyrie Ben Simmons clause.
Every single league, professional sports, non-guaranteed contracts. That's the way you get players to play. And it's stupid that take the NFL model, build a salary cap like that, non-guaranteed deals, Owners should push for that in every CBA in the history going forward. And it
Yeah, the
works.
NFL players
It
get
works.
fucked a little bit on that too, but the NBA is
But
just
you know
taking
what?
it.
Fuck that.
They've taken it too
You
far.
make enough money. You make fucking enough money. Structure
Some
it
of
so
them
you
do.
don't
Yeah.
structure it
Not
so
all
you
of
don't
them.
fucking
Not all
raise
of them do.
family
The
out
NBA
of
is
it.
different. There's
No?
less guys, and they all make plenty of money, and they all take a lot of time off. Well, not all of them, but
sorry.
you know, God,
Lame.
guys, take a time off. All right, we got 2 more on this, so we got to go quickly. Mark Emerson is retiring from the NCAA, and he's taking a farewell tour. I mean,
I had
that's
to
just
Google him. I had to Google that name when you sent it to me, and
I should have just said the head of the. I should have
even.
just said the head of the NCAA.
I Googled it, and you're like, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not even responding to this. I don't care. It's Ben Simmons.
The
7 minor of the week.
It's not a fucking win. It's just about to talk about it. The guy that has run the NCAA for 12 years. Any story that's come out of the NCAA has been this guy and his committee shitting on his on the student athletes and making their life hell. He's decided to take a farewell tour like he's fucking Derek Jeter. If he shows up anywhere, he just needs to get booed and tomatoes thrown at him.
Oh, he's gonna get booed. He's gonna get booed when his last game. He's gonna go to the championship game. He's gonna get booed off the field. It's gonna be hilarious.
He's the Dan Snyder of college sports.
He's the
and then
Gary Batman.
I was gonna say
of
Gary
college
Batman.
Sports.
there you go. And then lastly, Ray,
Fucking bumbling idiot.
I haven't been following any of this except for the Barstool stuff, but the Amber Heard, Johnny Depp,
Oh, I've been
court
following this
stuff,
for years. She
just
shit on
very
his
funny.
bed. She shit on his bed.
just outrageously funny. Her
Her
lawyers,
lawyer
are
is terrible.
insanely stupid.
Oh, the best memes are like she's actually paying for this defense.
Yeah,
Yeah, a ton of it. And Johnny Depp is just
Depp is
laughing through the
shitting
whole
all
thing.
over. He's shitting all over the lawyer too. Like he's everything the lawyer brings up, he just like laughs and like contradicts him and like you can't ask me that and shit like that. It's hilarious. It's like
He
laugh
objected
out loud
to his
funny.
own question, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
yesterday.
that was
Yeah,
the
yeah,
best
yeah.
one. That was the best one. Hey, guys, let's chalk one up for the penises. Okay, penises 1, vaginas 0. That's what we get, Amber Heard. You fuck her. She shit on this guy's bed. Who shits on a bed?
Did you see they brought the picture for evidence?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's just a
It's
turd.
crazy.
It was like a turd that you'd see in a comedy movie. Like that's what was on his bed.
This is like, dude, this could not be any more of like a movie that is like drawing out, but in real life. Like,
Did I
this
ever
is
tell you
fucking real life.
Can I talk
Someone-
about a shit?
Go ahead.
Did I ever tell you guys a story about someone shitting the bed when we went to Montreal?
I know the story.
So we went to Montreal when we were younger. We were 20 years old. We went to Montreal, drink our faces off. One of our friends went out into an alley, started making out with a teacher, came back wee hours of the morning.
Give
I
me
woke up-
initials.
Nope. I woke up in the morning. I could smell shit. I said, "Hey, did
Rich.
you fart? What's going on here?" Nope, nothing. I pulled the sheet open and there was shit caked on his ass, all all in the bed. I'm like, "Holy shit, you shit the bed?" He goes, "No, I didn't." I'm like, "Dude, it's all over the sheets and everything. You
Can we
can't."
talk baseball now? I don't want to talk about shit.
Okay,
anymore.
that's the simplest mind of the week. This has been the Simple Mind Sports Show, Friday Rewind, April 29th. We'll see you next Tuesday for some Red Sox shitting. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Ray,
Shitting, I'm
Ray,
shitting,
give me
I'm
some-
shitting.
I got something troubling on my mind. I got something troubling on my mind.
give me some hints that you know I'll get.
No.
Why?
I'll give you this.